Hey y'all, what's up? I had just got done watching Bad Blood in the press conference and put my son to bed. So I think it's like 10:30 where I'm at. And I'm doing my hair because I've been trying to do my hair for a week. I was like, if I don't do it today, I watched it at the beginning, but then I got distracted by tweeting and watching Bad Blood, and I was trying to watch Bad Blood and do my hair. I knew that wasn't going to end well, so here I am. So this PLE, trying to compare it to the last one. I would say, oh, the last one was Bash at Berlin. So I would say out of the 5 matches, the crowd participation was a 4. That's why some of the matches I can't, because I'm like, the crowd can determine if the home audience likes a match or not, because then you'll lose interest. Some people lose interest because they'll be like, oh, well, it's not that interesting because the crowd participation was 4. Because besides the first match and the last match, the middle matches, they were like lackluster. And that's for them to be in Atlanta. Like, you're in a major city that's known to be in turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could have, now I see why WWE goes places like Green Bay. So I'm like, even though they've been there 4 or 5 times in a year, I'm like, that crowd ain't never like quiet like that. Like, the PLE was, it was a mess. The first match was Hell in a Cell. Great way to open the show. First, and I will say this, the way that they did the show, I would have done it that way for the most part. If anything, I would have had, if I would have did a switch, it would have been Nia and Bayley would have went 4th, and then Liv and Rhea would have went 2nd. But even though it's like a rematch from SummerSlam, Liv and Rhea's story is better. So I get why, like, Nia and Bayley went 2nd. To start things off, it was the Hell in a Cell match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Now, let me say this. I don't know if Drew's entrance has always been like that with the fire and the lasers and stuff, because they showed it zoomed out. But if it hasn't been like that and they just changed it for this PLE, keep it like that. Because the old entrance used to have fire and then the graphics with the swords and stuff like that. But I'm like, y'all need to keep the fire for every time you come out. And I'm like, because of the way that they had the lasers like the past couple weeks, hitting like the yellow lights that show at the top of his thing, it was clashing on TV. And I don't know also if it's because the entrance thing is shorter because they had people behind it to fit as many seats as they can. But if that's the case, do that at every live event, because it honestly makes it better looking for a lot of them. I will say the only one it didn't make it look better for was Finn's. His looked good, but not as good as it was if the whole wall would have been boarded and they wouldn't have sat nobody behind the thing. So Punk comes out. McIntyre comes out, and I'm getting tired. I've been running around all day. Like, I went to bed late last night. I woke up. My son was in a soccer match. They won 3-0. He scored 2 of the matches. Then I came home to eat. Him change clothes. Had to go to the church picnic because I decided to bring the ice. Had to go there 30 minutes before it started. Was there till like 5:30. We played kickball. Ended up tying. My son got like 2 of the outs and 2 of the innings for his team. He got upset because there was so many people on the team. He only got to kick like 2 times. And I was like, well, you done got on 2nd and 3rd base. I'm like, but the rest of your team got the out, so you never made it home. Then after that, my sister brought my nieces with us on her lunch break because she works till 7, and my nieces be in the house all day because my sister works from home. Like, she has a weird schedule, even though she works 40 hours. So I had them come out, you know, and I was auntie and mama, and my nieces and my son are like more like siblings than cousins because they've always been together since like he was 2 months, and the oldest niece, because it's 3 of them all together, was 4 months. Like, they've always been together. And if they lived in separate states, it wasn't long before one of us moved closer to each other. And we got 2 other siblings, but like, our kids are the closest, I would say. So like, they came, and then I had to go across town to drop them off. And by the time I dropped them off, it was like 5:30 something. And then I got home. LJ and I came in the house. It was 5:45. I came, I washed my hair thoroughly, conditioned it. Then I had to oil it, comb it out. And then bad blood came on. I had 15 minutes to do that. So I didn't like get it good like I normally would. Like, I would normally let like the conditioner sit and stuff like that. But that's one of the reasons why I don't do my hair, because I hate washing it. The washing part is the longest part for me. The process. It's like the most tiring part. Yeah, so the PLE and stuff came on, and then I ended up watching it, and I was like, I'm gonna wash my hair and I'm gonna comb my hair out and tweet and wash that. And that was a lie, because all I did was watch it. I combed my hair out, and then I didn't tweet as much as I normally do, but I thoroughly washed it. So I might have combed some and then looked and been stuck, and then so it was a whole thing, because I would have been done had I did it like I would normally want to do it. Now I'm tired, so I'm trying to debate if I want to give this review tonight or wait till tomorrow, because honestly, I feel like I'm going to be talking for more than an hour, but I don't want to forget anything if I do it tomorrow. So, yeah, my throat hurts a little bit. So, with that being said, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to finish this up tomorrow, and you guys forgive me for that. Like, I'm trying to get my well-being, my health and stuff together. Like, I was sick last week, and it wasn't COVID. It was like a bad viral sinus infection, and I'm still recovering from that. And then like, sleep schedule's been off, and then I worked law last week, so getting back into the swing of that and stuff was like, makes it tiring. And then I haven't even worked out, I don't think, at all. Or if I did, it was like 1 day. But I don't think I worked out in like 2 weeks. So it's just been a mess. But yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. So let's see this. Yeah, so the first one, and then it started with Drew, and then they were saying, I think, saying CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. So, then CM Punk came out. My prediction for this match was, I wasn't sure who was going to win this. I honestly didn't care. I knew the match was just going to be a good match. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, and it was. Everybody was talking about, they can tell from the match that it's going to be an instant classic. Like, when you think Hell in a Cell, like, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre's match is going to go in there with other ones, like the Kane and Undertaker one, the Usos and New Days, and all this other stuff. CM Punk comes on, he gets a reaction. They beat the hell out of each other. I don't even remember, what did he get hit with for him to start bleeding? And then the blood was dripping down CM Punk so bad, I was like, can he see? You know what I'm saying? And like, I think that he got claymored on the floor. You could hear the thud. He got body slammed on the steel steps. Then it was very like kind of one-sided for a little bit. And then I think it picked up momentum, and then Punk had fought back. And then after he got hit, Drew got hit with the toolbox. He started bleeding, but he constantly kept. And then Drew, when they was like, this man, I said, this man is in his Scottish Psycho era, because he took a pin thing and stuck it in his wound. And I was like, ew. And then when Punk was bleeding and he couldn't see, and I'm like, how is this man? Then in the next frame he could see. I said, so who the hell, how did he wipe that blood? And why is it not all on the mat? So then I was like, shout out to Corey Graves, because when he was like, the ref is wiping him off, taking this time to wipe them off, I said, okay, because I was trying to figure it out. Like, I was trying to seriously figure it out. That match was so great, and everybody kept saying, this is awesome. And, excuse me, it truly was, I want to say, the best match of the night. It was the best match of the night. Like, as far as matches go, best match of the night. As far as storytelling goes, the Bloodline had it. The Bloodline had it. Well, as far as matches go, that definitely had the best match of the night. And right when we thought that either one of them was going to kick out, they kept going. Kept going. And then at one point in time, what's that? Oh, no, I'm thinking about the wrong match. My bad. So, yeah, they was talking about him and his error and things like that. And I said, because he was like, Drew was like, he wanted to end Punk's career. Punk was like, you gonna have to drag me up out of here or I would die. So Cole had mentioned that it was like the lights have to be on, or he has to be in a casket or something for him to get up out of this match. Drew, when the match ended and he lost, Drew looked upset, but I think it went left for Drew when he took them bracelet beads out and poured it all on CM Punk's face. And then that's when Punk got the adrenaline. He remembered, okay, that man messed up my bead that a fan gave me that had my wife's name on it, my dog's name on it. So my thought was like, I hope Victoria got the PLE tickets to this. I'm like, because her, the main story for them two recently has been her bracelet. Ironically, after the end of Bad Blood, I see on Twitter where it showed like him making a bracelet. Somebody was like, I wonder who Punk's making a bracelet for. And then she showed a picture of the bracelet that he made for her, and it said Bad Blood, October 5th, 2024. And I was like, that was so sweet. Like, that was sweet. And they took a picture behind it. She was like, thank you, CM Punk, and stuff like that. Like, that was sweet. But then, yeah, he started bleeding. He got to say, I said, if anything, I said, when that adrenaline wear off, hopefully Drew don't need no back surgery or nothing. Because I'm like, the way his back hit them steel steps, the corner, no, before that, at the beginning, his, was it Punk's Adam's apple had hit the corner of the table. And I said, I know he can't breathe. Because when you get chopped in the throat, when somebody punch you in the throat, something, you be, and like your teeth click and stuff like that, and you can't hear, like you can't breathe, something like that. And then he put a chair over him for him to not be able to, and I was like, this man is crazy as hell. So all of that went through. Claymore, Drew had put Punk through the table, and I said, honestly, both of them hurt for that. Okay. And then once some beads came out, that's when Drew messed it up for himself. Cause somebody had said somebody I follow on Twitter was like, Drew got the right amount of evil, but he got 3 drops too much. And he was like, it basically ruins it for him. And I said, 3 drops too much. I was like, that's hilarious. I said, but it's true though. I was like, if he just left it alone at the match and would have, you know what I'm saying, he would have won. But the fact that he brought them beads out and put it over his face, And then I said, and then Punk used the same beads, I think, and tried to stuff his mouth with it. I said, that just makes Punk reminiscent of what you did with the first bracelet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know I'm about to lose and it's something valuable of mine that you had, and then, like, say I had a watch or something, and then you got a bag and you pouring watch fragments on me, I'm going to be going from 0 to 10. I don't care if I'm in the negatives as far as energy goes. I'm going to find something somewhere and I'm coming up and I'm beating your tail. Like, he did that, got messed up because Punk hit the go to sleep with a chain around his leg, and that was it. And then they got a thing, they had medical come out and try to look at Punk. Punk couldn't even stand. Even when he was like standing in front of people doing like this, like he fell back. And I say, you know it's bad because not only did Pierce come out, but I was like, the legend Shay Helms came out. And I was like, that man rarely comes out to stop anything. Like, he done stopped a couple confrontations on Raw. But like, just make sure somebody gets medical attention, because someone was like, Punk is so proud, he's so stubborn and stuff like that. I'm like, if you don't let the medical people help you, like as much blood as you done lost, because you done got hit with blood, you got hit in the head to cause you to bleed first. So you should have been, yeah. And then it's hot and stuff, all them lights, and then you dehydrated, you could pass out. Go ahead. Like, I hope your wife was there. So the people that's involved, that was there at the PLE, right? All the people that be on Raw, are y'all gonna go home, or are y'all gonna fly straight to St. Louis? The people that don't live in Atlanta. Like, we know it's some of them that live in Atlanta. Well, I know it's some of them that live in Atlanta. Like, the ones that don't live in Atlanta or not from Atlanta, is y'all going to fly to the house for like 12 hours and then fly to, because tomorrow's Sunday. Or do you got a bag and be like, hey, I'm going to see you in 2 days to your family? If you're there, if you went to Bad Blood tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's me and I didn't have to be a part of PLE, like tonight, and I worked for WWE, I'll be at the house. Like, I'm not coming to the PLE. Oh, I got hair in my eye. I wouldn't be coming. Like, even if my son wanted to go, I'm like, we're going to catch them at the next one. Like, you got a soccer game and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I worked there. We'll catch the next one. I got castor oil dripping down my face. I had to use it for my scalp. Sorry. But yeah, Punk ended up winning that. So that was like, and I was like, this is a great start to Bad Blood. And I think they said 27 years ago is when they first had one, or the last time they had one. I was like, that was 97. And that's when I was watching. I was like, I was in elementary school when that happened. So, yeah. I love the fact though, before Bad Blood started, they showed the little video of Triple H and Cody Rhodes, and then they showed the whole video because Metro was like, we staking out in this band. He said, yeah. He's like, don't you got a tour bus? First, I was laughing, because of what I said yesterday when I was like, Julie was like, Cody was like, Metro. He was like, booming. And he was like, how many new Metros you know? And I was cracking up. And then I forgot about the part when he was like, don't you got a tour bus? Metro was like, and Cody was like, don't you got a tour bus? I don't know why, but I was like, that part that's dry. Like, I laugh at anything. But dry humor, I think I laugh at the most, because I'm like, stuff is not said in a funny way. It's meant to be funny if you catch it, but you got to catch it. And I was like, that thing had me cracking up. But then the next match was Nia versus Bayley. Let me tell you something. Whoever lined Bayley up today did a phenomenal job, okay? First, the big three hosted. They had on red, whatever. Naomi had a bow her wig. Bianca had a headpiece, and Jay had a regular white wig with shattered glass tights. Who? First of all, I know her thing is like storm, and then her gear is like shattered glass. She's breaking ceilings and stuff like that. But who the hell made them tights for her? Because I know she ain't buy them. If she buy them, where she buy them from? Because I know I'm not trying to, I don't want her design, but I know they got some other good designs. Okay? And that's the first thing, like, that's all I could look at. Because I'm like, I look at hair first. Because I do hair. But I'm like, on the side. I went to college school. But I'm like, and then I look at production. Because I do production now. Weekly, once a week. Twice a week if I got technical rehearsals for something next week, matter of fact. So, if it's technical rehearsals, I know it's going to be an extra long day on my Saturday. And, but normally I could do what I do in my sleep. Like, if I'm gone for a couple weeks, I even have, like, the main person that I'm doing it for text me, be like, what? Or they'll see me like, thank God you back. Like, that's bad, but it's good because I'm good at what I do, but it's bad because I'm like, what do y'all be doing when I be gone? Okay? And then, the competitor in me, like, is going to say something probably about the matches and stuff like that. And then, I'm goofy, so I'm going to say something about the humor and stuff like that. But then, here, then, of course, gear, because, of course. So like I said, I was exhausted. And I had to wake up early and finish. I'm still not finished. The middle I have to finish. Like no trick. But, yeah, so Bayley's hair, she looked great. Okay? I always love her jackets. I've been tweeting her and sending her messages on Instagram under any post every time she shows her gear. And I'm like, Pam. I even called her by her name. Like, who does your jackets? Or where do you buy them from? And I am dead serious. Like, I am dead serious. Because it's been about 3 or 4 jackets that she done wore on top of her gear. I'm like, I need this for an outfit. She ain't respond to me. Now, see, if I was a kid, I feel like if I was a child asking, she would 100% respond to me. Because, celebrities are more prone to respond to people with special needs, no matter what the age is, elderly people, and kids. But I'm like, I'm none of them. So I feel like I don't get no type of response. Before that, I said I'd be active on Twitter. So they showed Last Legend in Jakara talking about some, basically the Stormiest duo is here in my city hosting Bad Blood, and they ain't defending them titles. Talking about some, they need to show up basically on NXT, pull up to NXT and defend them titles. Mind you, they gonna be there next week with Kalani Jordan. So I said, ooh. I said, this is the match I've been waiting for the longest. When they was like, give me an opponent to fight Jade. Last Legend was one of the opponents. And I said, because stature-wise, they match up. Okay? I'm like, they both ex-ball players. Like, it makes sense. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, to me, in my mind, depending on the build-up, it could be a PLE type situation. But I've heard some of them do promos. Okay? And not unless the girls from the Metaphor take it there, it will only be one-sided on the promos. So, like, the Stormiest duo, Jade and Bianca would eat them up. And that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be embarrassment. But I was like, I can't wait. So Bianca responded, I don't see her, because they was outside with the crowd and stuff. And she was like, I don't see how you can hate from outside the club. You can't even get in. And I was cracking up because if you know the lyrics to Chris Brown's Look at Me Now, that's the first thing he says before the song plays. So she was like, boo, basically like name a time and a place. We could come to NXT or you could come to Smackdown, okay? And I was like, Shawn Michaels, okay? I don't care what you're doing. Look at this tweet and make this happen in 2 weeks. And if you ain't got room on your card or your show, you and Ava, we need this on SmackDown, okay? If not, put it on Saturday main event. Something we can see on TV. Like, this is going to be interesting, okay? Because that's like, television-wise, I don't think I've seen Jade fight any of the girls from NXT. Now I'm reevaluating my life. I don't think I've seen Bianca fight any of the girls from NXT. Then I was watching the TNA, like, biggest surprises and returns on YouTube, and they were showing, one of them was Ruka and Jordan had teamed up. My brain, I think I cut the TV off right before then, because I remember when they fought against each other and it was like a surprise opponent. I was like, it should be Ruka. But I didn't know, and I knew she went to TNA, and Ariana Grace, like, introduced her. But I didn't know that they had teamed up, and then Tasha Steele ended up, like, getting in the middle of that match. But I didn't know that. So, like, I gotta go back and watch that. But anyways, like, I can't wait to see whenever that's gonna happen. That's the thing, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we be having the opening challenges like that. It makes for good TV. And people be like, if you don't have, like, Twitter and stuff like that, you're like, how did this match come about? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we be like, we need some people to line up for the tag titles. And yes, we have been focused on IC and US titles and 2 main titles and the women's titles. And the tags have gotten a little love for a little bit, and now they're like, but I'm like, it's so much talent and stuff. And now we're all going to 2 hours. It's even less time to, like, cover certain stuff. So it's going to be a journey. But what had me cracking up is when they showed them in Skybox. And I think Kathy Kelly has showed the big 3. And you know what, to be honest with you, oh, and Sam did a good job at singing. But I was like, and this is not just the big 3. This has been the past with, like, Sexy Red and hosting, and then, like, The Miz hosting when they had it, what's the name, in Cleveland, and then, like, Snoop Dogg hosting WrestleMania. We don't really need no hosts. That's me personally thinks, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's throwing away unnecessary money. To me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could still be there without them having a host. Because other than them introducing that this is Bad Blood in Atlanta, and then them showing them in the Skybox, I'm like, we didn't see the big 3 no more. And Kathy asked the big 3 some questions. So it wasn't even really like them hosting. It was just like them being co-interviewer. Like, no, it wasn't even like co-interviewers. It was like they was being interviewed and had more mic time than anybody. I was like, we really don't need, just like with The Miz, I think we saw him once at SummerSlam. And I was like, and outside of Snoop, I think during the People's Elbow that year, was it to The Miz? And maybe him commentating was the best thing of WrestleMania. We didn't see him like that either. So I'd be like, why do we keep having these hosts? Sexy Red, we seen twice. I'm like, other than, like, people, you saying, like, Sexy Red is going to be on TV and she has a fan base and people maybe coming to watch and stuff like that. But I'm like, y'all could show her on the side commentating or something once or twice and say, oh, she's going to be here to commentate. Y'all still get the same amount of viewers. Because whoever's a fan of hers is going to wait and see when she's going to come out. You know what I'm saying? And commentate. And then if the show is good, and 9 times out of 10, each PLE has been good, they gonna keep watching. Like, I ain't trying to take no money out nobody's pocket, but at the same time, I'd be like, it's useless. Now let's because people were complaining about like representation and stuff like that, and then that's one of the reasons why that was done. But it wasn't necessary. It's just like the same thing for when we had the thing for WrestleMania 40 in Vegas, and they had Bianca there instead of Bayley, which because Bianca's basically the face of the company. Okay, like what Rock used to be back in the day and Cena used to be, Bianca is now. Okay, because anytime she wasn't even involved in WrestleMania until like the last week, and they flew her there for her to say something for 3 minutes. And then she had to fly all the way back to Florida. And I'm like, dog, she could have did this y'all could have pre-recorded her saying this and put it up on the screen. Like, it was pointless for her to be there. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I understand when people are face company, they have obligations and stuff like that. But I'm like, when it's not necessary and you're in no ties with none of the story or something like that, like, I don't see the point. You know what I'm saying? So, like, and they looked good in the red. I honestly think they look better in the blue. And I said that numerous times. I've been saying that for the past 3 weeks, that every superstar has looked phenomenal in that, like, royal and regular blue. Something about the blue, okay? No shade to the red brand. Is not, but everybody don't look good in red because red flushes you out, depending on your skin tone. And you ain't even got to be, and I'm not saying that, with anybody. It can make you look bad if you white, black, brown, purple, green. Like, red is not for everybody. Now, everybody could pull off, for the most 99.9% of the time, white, black, and blue. Them other colors be, okay? So that's why I'm saying that. Okay? Like, it don't, red, any other color could flush you out, make you look old, age you, make you look tired, just not go up, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that that's what it was for them, but what I'm saying is I think the blue looked better. So when they was in the skybox, they showed DDP, X-Pac, Jay was there. I wonder if his son was there. I didn't even pay no attention. Then they showed the girls and they asked who was like, who are they looking forward to? And Jay was a little loud. I don't know if it's because of the crowd behind her. Or if it was because, I'm sorry, my mom sending me a message from Florida talking about, my sister sent my mom a message to Florida talking about they getting another hurricane. That's normal. We used to live there. I don't know why she, okay, anyways. But they said, like, she was louder, I feel like. And I was like, I understand you wanted to be hyped, but I wonder if they had them wear inner ears so that they can hear Kathy just in case they couldn't hear her when she said something. Because that probably would have made the response be not as loud, because it was like her and Bianca were kind of, you know, and because when they was like, who are you looking forward to? And she was like, I'm really looking forward to Bayley and not, no, she said Rhea and Liv. And they asked Naomi, and she was like, I'm looking forward to my girl Bayley, do her thing. That's my best friend. Like, I got her back. She got mine. And then they asked Bianca, was like, how you feel about that? And she was like, I'm very happy for her. And I was crying, like, why did y'all do that? And I was like, based off of, if ever, Jade and Bianca don't even, like, break up. Because everybody the breakup doesn't have to be volatile or a turn or something like that. But if they break up and go their separate ways and they're still cool, you know what I'm saying? They still got a story with Nia and Jade because of her daughter. Okay. And then they still got that story that I've been waiting for with Bianca and Bayley. Like, when that comes to fruition, I'm going to have my seatbelts on. Because if it's done right, okay, we can have this story go out for 6 months to a year. Okay? Like, it could kind of be like how Jay was when he came to Raw and he tried to prove that he was good and stuff like that. And every time KO kept getting hit. And he ended up wanting to go to Smackdown to get away from Jay because he didn't trust him. And a breakaway from him and Sammy being a thing. But it could kind of be like that, but also like if we end up having like a 3-on-3 match with like her, Naomi, and Bianca, and Bayley again, or her and Bayley got to team up like how Roman and Cody did, or whatever. Like it could be layered. And then, like, them trying to mend stuff and then bend on the mends of stuff and then people being in their ear. And then that goes, like, it takes them 2 steps back. Like, it could be played out well. I lied about the year thing. Maybe 3 months. Okay, 3 months to 6 months. But, a year will be stretching it, to be honest with you. Because it's not that many girls on SmackDown. And they gonna be like, and not unless SmackDown goes to 3 hours. Because it should be 3 hours, in my opinion, with the titles and the talent and stuff like that. You still need the extra hour. And then we could, like, you know what I'm saying? Then you could add some people from Raw to SmackDown, and then it could linger on. But other than that, I don't see it going that far. So then Nia comes out in red. She's a superstar that looks good in any color. Any color they put her in, she looks great. Any hairstyle she wears, she looks great. My favorite, of course, is her natural curls. The second one will have to be the ponytail that she wore last night. The third would have to be the wig when it's split and stuff like that down the middle. Like, she looks phenomenal, okay? And I've seen her without makeup, and I've seen her with makeup, and she still looks like she is just, okay? Like, so, she comes out, and the match is pretty much, I want to say it's one-sided for a while. It's one-sided, I think. And then Bayley lifts her up again, and then walks with her again. And I think, did she end up slamming her or falling short? Sorry. What had me surprised is when Nia tried to do a submission move. So, Corey and them was like, we trying new moves. And she was like, yeah, like, we about to try new, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she done added a new move to her repertoire, whatever. So then, I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, I like when superstars add new moves to their thing, especially when you've been in the game for a little bit and you don't want to be labeled as like someone who's like, oh, they only got the same 5 moveset. Now, if that works for you, that works for you. You know what I'm saying? But even I feel like the superstars get tired of using the same moves after a while, because even Jay like added the spear to his moveset. And I was like, so she did that. Bayley, I think, tried to suplex her. I'm trying to think, because this is all last night and I slept and all that since then. I think she tried to, was it a suplex or was it a, God dang, what was it? It wasn't a sunset flip. Y'all know what I mean. Whatever Bayley did, because my brain, like, I'm literally like blanking. It looked like Nia reversed it, and it almost looked like a hurricanrana. Get all these notifications. I promise I'm going back to Samsung. I don't even care if my texts are green. Like, iPhone is not all that, and it irritates me. Still getting notifications, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm getting notifications for this app, and I turned off the notifications. Like, what is happening? Sorry. What did she try? She tried to do, yeah, so she tried to, so they had to replay it, and it was almost kind of like a hurricane, and move she's trying to do, I think, is irritating my soul because I can't think of what she was trying to do. Because I was going to say a tsunami, and then I was like, no. And then I was like, it's not a, I don't know. So, that's what it was, the swanton. I think it was she was trying to do the swanton. I was trying to figure out, I was like, I know it's something with an S. That's what I kept saying, the suplex. Look. So then, yeah. So like in between the commercials, they showed, like I showed DDP, X-Pac, they showed Goldberg, they showed Mickey James, they showed Booker T. And then when they showed like them three, they showed Bianca's parents and nieces and nephews behind them. I was like, one thing about her parents, they gonna support her, okay? I was like, I'm here for it. Like, they was behind, like they got second row. They had shirts on that said Bianca Belair. And then I think they showed Metro Boomin. So I think I asked earlier, like, I didn't know if that was like that trench coat, Matrix looking trench coat was a part of his look normally, or he just wore it today. And then they showed Little Baby. It was like, Little Baby here. And they showed him with his child. And I was like, Little Baby was here last time, like at WrestleMania. I just didn't acknowledge him. So then what had me cracking up was it was like, oh my God, and Metro's here, and Little Baby's here, and I'm such a big fan. And Corey was like, you up? Can I go? He said, yeah. I had him sign my CD. He was like, your CD. And he was like, yeah, like he took it back. I took it back old school. He said, I didn't know you to throw your professionalism out the window for the hip hop game. And Cole like told Switch, I was like, let's get back to the game. Them two last night had me cracking up because Cole being, I was like, whether this is a joke or he is serious, like Cole being a fan, like I would have thought, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, the positive about him, the change of seniority in the company also, and in him working with Pat, is that he's loosened up. And I think in the past 2 years, like everyone is saying, this is the most fun everyone has had working where they work. Like, because I don't think I've liked Cole. Like, I always liked Cole. He's the voice of WWE. But, like, to me, Cole hasn't been this, I think, laid back and loose, I think, since he was commentating with, what was it, Jim Ross? Was he commentating with Jim Ross, or was it Jerry the King Lawler? Like, when he was not doing the play-by-play, when he was doing the side stuff. So, like, it's very, like, nice to see. It's very nice to see. So then, I think Bayley had hit. Did Bayley hit Nia with a drop? And then it was like a Samoan drop. And I was like, is it considered a Samoan drop? I said, I'm ignorant to the game. Okay, I take full, I'm fully aware that I'm ignorant to the game. Is it called a Samoan drop if you're not Samoan or married to someone that's Samoan? Like Naomi doing one is totally justified. She's married to the dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else is doing one has been Samoan. But if Bayley does one, is it really called one? Because the people that's not German, when they do a suplex, they don't always say German suplex, they say suplex. So, like, can we say that for her? So then Tiff comes out, which I knew she was coming out, okay? I like that. I don't know if it was magenta or light or purple, like, or a hot pink, but it was cute, okay? And people are like, they getting tired of Tiffy time and this, that, and third. And ironically, I said that when she first came, because I was like, they was like, they're getting tired of Tiffy time. Like, the whole thing with the briefcase thing is tiring. But I'm like, y'all getting tired of something that's supposed to happen. Like, she's supposed to contemplate if she wants to cash in, especially since her best friend and her queen is the champion. Because I'm like, if she cashed in on Liv, she will be going to Raw. And she cashed in on 1. which is probably fine with her. Her man is over there. You know what I'm saying? So, and they live together, so it makes it easier for them to travel together, see each other. But then will be one less woman on the Smackdown roster. Or maybe they could put Tegan on TV. Okay? But or Indy and Candice back on TV if she go over there. Which I'm okay with. So either way, whatever works best. But I'm like, I got tired of her because it's always her Tiffy time, or we got tired of her because of the Money Bank situation. Because Money Bank situation is supposed to happen. Regardless of how it happens and the storylines that builds up to it, it's supposed to happen regardless. The Tiffy time thing, I was more annoyed when she first came versus then. Like now, she done been acclimated. It's been about, when did the draft happen? They said after WrestleMania was going to happen, or after Backlash. So it's been about 5 months, okay? I'm okay with her. Like at first, when she debuted a year ago, in February, January, or a year ago, I couldn't get with it. And now I couldn't get with it because as soon as she came on the roster, they had her win everything. And I'm like, we understand what she does. For those of us that seen her on NXT, we get it. Just like when they had the squash match with Braun Breaker. Like, I was like, it's not necessary. You see how big that man is? Like, we know he could kill somebody. Like, we don't need to see him do some squash match or some random person that's trying to get into WWE. Like, we know this. Okay? And I was like, y'all could have went straight to, I don't know if it's a kill time. Y'all could have put another promo in there. Y'all could have went straight to the match with him and Dragunov. Okay? Like, we don't need. All right? Like, we don't need to see that. And honestly, if they would have did the promo when they had introduced him coming to Raw and then showed more of like his moveset in the video package, how fast and stuff he go, the squash match wouldn't have been necessary. Because we would have been watching like, oh, dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, we get it. Okay? I couldn't get the phenomenon. Like, it was aggravating as hell to me. Because I'm like, not having her win every match. We know she's talented or whatever, but I'm like, I don't like when talent comes out and they first get, and I understand that, like, they're going to win some matches, but the fact that I feel like she won all of these matches and then was up for, like, a title shot, like, the first month, that's what pissed me off, because I'm like, you just got here. Now, it's different for NXT. It's developmental, like Ethan Page, stuff like that. Like, to me, that's different. Because everybody there is somewhat new. They've been there either just now or in the past 3 years. Okay? But for someone that automatically gets a shot and it's someone that's probably never gotten one and they've been there 5 years, like, that's what I don't like. And then I'm like, she's automatically winning all these matches. And then you got Carmelo, who also joined on the roster, who hasn't won half his matches. Like, to me, that make it make sense. So, like, but now, she's lost the match, and I was like, okay, y'all need to give us like 3 to 6 months for these new people to set in, then allow them to have a title shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, where they could win a title. Like, having a title shot and losing is different. Like, I'm cool with that too. But have one, and then they win, I'm like, okay, now she's been here long enough where we're like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I don't know. So for people to be tired of her, and I'm like, now I like her. She annoying as hell, her persona. She tired of Nia, okay? But I like, and I always said, now if Nia win Queen of the Ring and becomes the women's champ, I was like, it's gonna put a little stank on her heel, and that's exactly what it did, because she was choking Tiffany. I was like, and then hold on, because I gotta turn something on. So my son's stuff. So she so she comes out and she like hits Bayley with the briefcase, I think, a couple of times. And then she goes to like try to hurry up and cash it because it falls. And she I think Jessica's like, she's like, cash in. And the way Nia popped up, it was hilarious because somebody was like, She popped up like the Undertaker. And I had to go back and watch it. I was like, when they showed the replay, I said she did though. Like it popped up like the Undertaker. She was basically, Tiffany was like, no, I'm just out here to help you. They said, I'm like, how many times is Nia gonna fall for that? Like every match, you need to come out and help me. Like I'm not capable of winning my own match. You know how deadly I am? That's exactly what I would have said in the next promo. Why the hell do I feel like you, as your queen, now unless I tell you, why the hell do you think I need for you to come out here? You don't think I can't annihilate any and everybody in this on this roster? That's exactly what I would ask her. I don't need you to be here. So why are you here? That's the discussion we would have on Smackdown. Then that would be the turn when Tiffany come and try to cash in while I'm already, or if I had a match that night, if I was Nia, then I would try to cash in. Because I'm like, oh, bring a ref out here. Be like, oh, since we doing it like that, Tiffany be like, can I get some assistance, please? Had a ref come right on out there. If I was to cash in before Survivor Series, but I don't see her cashing in before Survivor Series. I forgot about Crown Jewel too. Like it's not every November. I legit forgot. And then, so she pops up, just sitting on the side looking. She gave Bayley a Samoan drop. And I said, outside of Jacob Fatu, Nia has the deadliest Samoan drop, in my opinion, of the family currently in the game. Okay? And then she did the Yoko move, the Annihilator, and she ended up retaining. So then she walks away like pissed. And I was like, ooh, Friday? Boy, she gonna have to answer to something, okay? So, they ended up going back to the booth, I think, and this might be before or after. They ended up going back to the booth. They were showing a girls' party and stuff like that. And Naomi was like, my brother's here. She showed like Jay and stuff like that. And then they showed Quavo was there. And they showed, I think Metro was up there. And they showed, I'm surprised 2 Chainz wasn't there because he was at WrestleMania and he from Atlanta. Or aka Titty Boy, for those that know. That used to be his name when before he changed it. And then yeah, so then everybody's like, ew, what's that smell? And someone on the thing was like, Quavo wasn't in on a joke because he's just sitting there. So everybody's like, ew, what's that smell? And it's Chelsea. And they was like, I'm sorry, Chelsea. And they was like, you stink. You need to go take a shower. And she was like, ugh. And she was like, come on, Piper. And Piper was like, and they was like, Piper could stay. It was like, you gotta go. And she left. She's like, and I was like, Chelsea, you need to bathe in some tomato juice, girl. Just like when you get a skunk gets, what's her name? And you got bathed in tomato juice. You need to bathe in tomato juice. Also, I was like, Piper looked amazing, okay? The hair, the outfit, the makeup. I don't know who picked that out for her. If she picked it out, she was up in that booth. She looked stunning, okay? And she was like, I'm staying. I said, okay. I said, you look like you staying, like you ready to go party. Like, she looked amazing, okay? So then they had Finn come out. Now, I liked Finn when they showed him walking in with the Judgment Day in the bucket hat. Like, I like the bucket hat on Finn. Finn's interest, I like the smoke. His interest is one of the interests that I like with the full wall. Like, because the wall's cut off and they have people behind them. Like, it didn't give the same effect, but I liked it. And then he showed off his belt. First, he came out with some look like a stocking thing with the line. And I said, can he see? But obviously he can because he got down to the ramp, or it must be muscle memory. So then he went like this and showed off his thing. And I said, Pat is right. Pat McAfee's right. I said, that man really got 0% body fat. Like, he got abs on the side. Like how in the hell do you have abs on the side? Like, not even the strongest person or the most fit person that I know, like, or watched before, has, like, what is your routine? Is that genetic? Because that's crazy. He come out, then he got the little whatever symbol underneath his eye. So then Damien comes out, and the crowd goes crazy with the wings and stuff. We got on red, I guess, for bad blood. Speaking of looking great, Cole and Corey look great, but I always said that Corey looks great in like shades of red and pink. Like pink is a shade of red. Like he looks great in those colors, in the warm colors. So that wasn't surprising. And Corey, Cole had the red thing. I've never seen Cole in like a red suit. Does he have a red suit? Like, I think he normally wears like black, gray, blue, like the standard 3 colors when men dress like professionally. I don't think I've seen him in any other colors outside of like maybe his tie being a different color. And I ever wonder, like, if he was allowed to dress down like how Pat did, would he ever? You know what I'm saying? Like, to him, that's probably dressing down. And I gotta finish my hair, so. But, like, would you or would you not? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Like, I'm not. So, yeah. So they look great. He comes out. He had the red. I didn't know how to feel about his hair, to be honest with you, because I was like, thank God it ain't that crochet with the Senegals and all of that like he had last year and the year before last. Because I was like, first of all, that's heavy as hell. As someone that's had that style and done that style on herself, if you don't space it out, it gets real heavy because you end up using more packs of hair than you need. And then I didn't like the way it looked. Then he had, like, what he wears on Monday with the one or couple, the ponytail slick back, and then like 1 or 2 of them. I love that style. And then like the one he had today with the white beads, like, I was like, I'm not mad at it, honestly. I was like, between, like, that's as far as it go. Don't do no more extra, okay? Because don't do no more extra, okay? So, like, I'm not mad at that at all. They ended up having their typical match. The match was going on for a while. I think Damien tried to pin Finn like 2 or 3 times. I said, first of all, that's not happening that quick. Finn is one of the ones that I say is resilient. They could be now Bud, black and blue. They are not unless the time is up, they're not going to give up. Him, AJ Styles, Seth, Dagon, KO, and I think the other person I had on there was Dolph, but he's Nick Nemeth. But I'm like, them people, they not giving up, okay? So, like, sometimes I forget that, and then I'd be like, oh, yeah, they're part of my resilient crew. So, and then I was like, typically in PLEs, I was like, Finn, the match don't end for Finn not unless it ends in blood, okay? The past couple ones he's been in, it's ended with him bleeding. So I was like, if it ain't blood shown, this match not about to end. But I was wrong, because he ain't bleed at all this match. Thankfully that didn't happen. But I was surprised, because I'm like, the last couple ones, he done had the 14 stitches. He done had the lip busted. I think he had the nose bleed. Like, I'm like, every daggone main event match, PLE match, something like that he done had some blood, lost some blood, okay? So, like, then Damien called him, like, the razor's edge. he was about to give him like the south of heaven. And of course, who was it? I think Carlito came and tried to distract the ref, and then Finn ended up trying to hit or attack Damien. And they always talk about, JD, sorry. And JD does have a big head for his body, no shade. But I like him with the man bun versus his hair down. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so, Priest knows the game, So he comes and they try to help, like, Finn. And at the end of the day, Finn still loses. And the crowd, the crowd went from up here. That's what I said, the crowd was lackluster. To Nia and Bayley, it being, like, down here. Even with, like, Tiff coming out. And I'm like, we know the story, and it's going to, continue the story for Friday. But I'm like, dang, y'all could be a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Something, okay? And then I got people that got podcasts and was like, I need to interview the green shirt guy. And I was like, while you at it, interview the dude that wear the Trinidad shirt or had a Trinidad flag, and the man that dressed as Macho Man. Because them three is always in the PLE, okay? And then somebody said a black lady too. I ain't pay. If it's a black lady that be there with them three, I don't pay her no attention. I'm like, they must either, because people think either they want a lawsuit or they just got money and like spending all their retirement and their access money on this situation. I'm like, also too, like, they probably grandfathered in. Like, if I've been going to PLEs for 5 years, right? And I'm going to be at every PLE. They probably marketing the system like, hey, this is where homeboy sit. Put him in one of these 3 seats. Block these 3 seats off because he gonna buy a ticket. Like, it could be a situation like that. But did he sit in the front row of daggone WrestleMania? Because BDE, my son was watching a YouTube video of BDE, and he wasn't even in the front row of him in WrestleMania. And he was like, the seat that he was sitting in was $20,000. And I said, God dang. And he was like, he was invited here by Triple H. So I'm like, you really didn't pay for the seat then? Like, don't say I spent $20,000 on a seat, but you was invited here by Triple H. So did you get reimbursed for your seat, or did, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't make sense to me. But so yeah, so I was like, my prediction is since Damien won, Rhea's losing. I straight said that. I was like, she losing because he won. Because they're not going to play it where both of them win. So then the fourth match. We're on the fourth match. And then this is my thing too. People were complaining about PLEs being 5 matches, talking about it's 5-match PLE. Shut the hell up, okay? Because this is my thing. When we had 6 matches 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, it wasn't enough time for everybody to get their rocks off. You couldn't really get into a match. And by the time you really got into the match, we had to hurry up. Or we had to speed up one match because the other matches went over time. Like, 5 matches makes sense. Especially for something that's like, how long was it? 3 hours. 3 hours time. So what is that? That's 180 minutes. If you divide that by 5, I'm doing this in my head. That is 36 minutes per match if it didn't have no promos or anything in between. So if you take out the promos and all of that, and the commercials, that's about 15-20 minutes each match. That evens out, okay? And that's just off the top of my head. I don't know if that's correct. 180 divided by 5 is 36? I think so. I don't know. One thing I do know though is math though. That's why I was like, I know hair, I know basketball, I know math. Math geek, my son gets it. I was an accounting major before I switched to HR. But I'm like, so if you were to divide 180 divided by 6 would have been 30. Then you take out the commercials and all that. That means each match would have been about a good 10 minutes. And then you would have had to divide, take off some minutes from the other matches to get 20-minute matches for the other ones. Like, that's too much. Like, I don't, people complain about everything. I be like, y'all complain about everything. Complain about everything. Now, the representation thing is justified because I feel like if we would have had the tag match, as one of the things, you would have had the representation, and that was PLE worthy. I honestly think that one of the Terra Twins matches could have been on Raw. I honestly believe that. And from my opinion, it could have been the girls. Just based off the opinion of the crowd and stuff like that. That's what I'm factoring. I'm factoring in the crowd. I'm factoring in the lack of the pop. Excuse me. I'm factoring in all of that. Because Liv comes out. He comes out. Dom comes out in the lowrider. That's why they weren't with the Judgment Day. She also does the head thing. And I'm like, now I love Liv. Liv is my girl. Like her and Bianca, them two are my girls. Okay. And I loved her. So, they come out with a lowrider. She jumps up there. She announced that, you know, in the past PLE, she's everything that they said they are. She is. She's a home wrecker. She's all of the things. All of the things that we said she was, she admitted to. Which I became a fan of Liv's 2 years ago between Up, Up, Down, Down and watch her on Total Divas. Like, her persona in WWE is not that far-fetched from a real personality. And I love her. Like, I love her. And her laugh is everything. Okay? And then Rhea comes out. And she looks phenomenal. I love the wavy hair. It's a perfect length. Like, prior to when she had the bangs, like, I wasn't really feeling the bangs. And I like the long hair on her. It's cute. But like this, the hair that comes right here and is wavy or bone straight or whatever, like to me, that's the wheelhouse for her. Like even when she was blonde, when she first came about, and she had the one side hair, side of her head shape. Like, I'm here for that too. But if the tag team match would have been the PLE, honestly, we could have had the Michin Chelsea Green match as a PLE. That way, it would have been woman-dominated PLE. And we still get representation because Michin is black. For those that don't know, y'all talking about black. If it comes to like every often, you know what I'm saying? Like we had people from Europe there. We had someone, Neuroweekend, there, the Hispanic culture there. We had AAPI with the Samoans. And then we had, I read back with my life. We had people from the South, okay? Because most of the people that was in the PLE, if they're not from another country, they are from the South, outside of Damien. Oh, and Liv, because she's from Jersey. And then, so we had the South, and then Michin would have been the black representation because she's half black. Her dad is black. Because people always try to say, oh, you look Asian. So, like, just because she look Asian and she is part Asian doesn't mean she's not mixed. So, Ruka is mixed. Ava Rain is mixed. Like, she's Cuban, Samoan, and black. Like, y'all can't go based off of how somebody look. And then, it shouldn't even matter, but it matters. Like, it shouldn't matter if someone doesn't look something or isn't something or is something. But for people to see themselves and want to become a part of the business and a relationship and WWE, it matters. Because when I saw Jacqueline in the crowd, I lost my mind. Okay? When I tell you, growing up, it wasn't as many women as it is now. Later on, Lita was one of my favorites, but at the beginning it was Sable. It was all about Sable. It was China for me, and Ivory, even though she was a heel. But when I saw Jacqueline, and then I saw Jazz, I was like, oh, like that was it for me. At one point in time, China, Jacqueline, and Ivory was it, and then Jazz came in the mix. China, Jacqueline, and Ivory was all. I didn't care. Like tag team and the girls. Even still to this day, same thing. Tag team and the girls. Like I like the singles matches, but even still, it's tag team and the girls for me. And Rhea comes out. She looks phenomenal. Like I said, the match starts. They put Dom in the thing. He's there like, I can't go back in. And then Cole's like, even him being locked up now, he's been locked up longer than he was the first time. And Grace is like, how dare you? Like the commentary to me, because I'm like, Grace always plays kind of like the opposite of commentary. And that's what you need. You need to push and pull. Like, that's why I like when it's like him, Pat, and Cole, when they did like WrestleMania. I like all three of them, because I'm like, Pat is a good time. You know what I'm saying? And Cole is more so in the middle. So Pat tries to influence Cole to do certain stuff. And sometimes he does, sometimes he don't. Like, even when Pat was gone for like the first week, Cole tried to get Corey to yeet, do the yeet wave. And then Corey kind of goes against the grain, which is good in commentary also, because everybody doesn't think the same. And, you know, some people agree with what he says or think like he thinks, and the character he plays. And it shows that you can work with someone that doesn't agree with everything that you say, but y'all can still be cordial and get along and be cool and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how life works. So when he said that, she was like, oh, and another surprise, raise it up. I said, oh no. Then when they showed it from the camera in the back, okay, I said, oh, hell no, because he was higher than the daggone ring post. And I said, nope. You know how high them ring posts are? The people got to climb the steps to get into the match. Then you got to get on top of the ring post, because that's why Montez said that was his finisher move, because he's scared of heights. So he's going to do it one time and one time only. Okay? And he actually did it twice on Friday, though. Kind of. But he's like, he's scared. He was like, that's at least 14 feet high. It's no way in hell. Okay, I think my ceilings might be 13 feet, maybe 14 feet. So that means I'm be jumping from my roof to the ground. Like, hell no. Hell no. And then the cage was a little bit higher than that. And they was getting into it, stuff like that. And then she hit the code breaker. She kicked out, I think Rhea did. Rhea did a reversal on Oblivion. And I think she had lived with the Riptide, or was about to. And then Raquel came out. No, before that, she told the ref had a ref cam. So someone was like, notice Corey had said something like, that's why I said the commentary had me cracking up, because they was like, Cole was like, oh, he has a ref cam on. He said, oh, I thought it was one of them brave things from Elon Musk had. He was like, because he needed. I was like, not him calling him slow. So, like, that was on. And, but they didn't really show too much of it, of the ref cam, like they did the last couple PLEs. And then Raquel had came out, and the crowd was lackluster. It didn't have no pop, nothing like that. And I think partially one is because the crowd was lackluster to begin with. Like, Atlanta was a disappointment. I know that's where it was held 27 years ago. We should have had Bad Blood somewhere else. Okay? Now I see why certain cities get certain PLEs. Atlanta don't have one. Don't have one at Atlanta no more. Okay, y'all should have came 4 hours down the road and came to Charlotte. I bet you the people at the Spectrum Center downtown would have showed out. Okay, North Carolina is ruthless. Okay, because you would have got people from Knoxville. Knoxville is about 5 hours away. No, wait. I'm 2.5 hours from Charlotte. It takes me about 5 to get to Knoxville. 5.5. So Knoxville is about 3 hours. You'd have got that crowd. You'd have got the crowd from Atlanta. That's about 4 hours. You could have got the crowd from Nashville coming in. That's about 6 hours. 6 hours. You got the people from Greensboro. That's about an hour and a half. People from Raleigh. That's about 2.5 hours. In the surrounding areas to come to Charlotte. People would have came to Charlotte. Okay, and North Carolina, and then it would have gave Charlotte thing to redeem themselves, because I told you the live event I went to was terrible, but it'd have been turned. Okay, I know that it would have been better than Atlanta. And I also think so. The crowd was lackluster. There was no pop for her, and then I also think it was no pop because people was expecting her to come and bash at Berlin. Or SummerSlam. What was the last one they had? The last match they had, was it Bash or SummerSlam? One of those two, they expected her to be there, and she wasn't there. So it was like, I was happy to see her, kind of. But then, like I said, the crowd negates, not negates. They set the tone for a lot of the times how people that are watching respond. And that's why it makes things better when you got a crowd that you know is going to be turned. That's why, like, if you reevaluate certain matches, honestly, and you eliminate the sound of the crowd, like, is the match as good as people was like, oh, like they say it is, like France or Germany, for example? You know what I'm saying? The crowds is always hype. Chicago, is it as good? Even if it's not, you couldn't tell us it wasn't, because we wouldn't know, because the crowd hyped everything up or booed everything and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like even Nashville was more live. Like, we could have had the PLE there. Even though we had SummerSlam there 2 years ago, we could have had the PLE there. Again, another PLE there. And so she came out with no pop. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, I've never known someone to come back and it not be, even when Truth came back Raw on Monday, there was a semi-pop. Seth came back, the crowd went crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm glad she's back, because I ain't seen her since the Elimination Chamber. And I know she had issues with, like, her skin and her health and stuff like that. And I was like, where is she at? And I've said last year that it should be a triple threat between Raquel, Rhea, and Bianca to see who's the strongest. It's before Jay got signed at the time, because all three of them said that they could deadlift 300 pounds. So I'm like, well, if all of them could deadlift 300 pounds, hell, we need a triple threat match to see who's the strongest, okay, and the best. But then we did the Rhea versus Raquel thing, and Rhea moves quicker. Raquel likes to slow things down, like how the Bloodline does. All of them, Nia, Roman, Jay, like all of them, when they get into a match, they slow stuff down. Raquel's like that, but she moves a little slower, as if, like with the one match with her and Rhea, she was moving slow as if she was still like a new wrestler in NXT. And I was like, what is happening? And then the build-up wasn't that. So, like, it was like, oh, okay. And I was like, that could have been on Monday. Like, we legit could have replaced that with the dumpster match or the tag team match. Because I was like, I bet you she would have got a bigger pop on Raw than she got at Bad Blood. Like, that was so bad. I felt so bad for her. And I don't know if she was cleared prior to, but if she was cleared prior to a Bad Blood, then they for sure could have had that match on Monday and then replaced it with something else. That's just my opinion. I don't know. And then, so the last match was the Bloodline versus Cody and Roman. And the Bloodline comes out with my song. So y'all know my song. Like, Solo Song is my song, okay? He come out. They, and it says Bloodline in the background. I said, so his song is the song for the whole Bloodline now? Like, I was like, Jacob, no, I think they played his song and showed his background one time. I was like, we ain't seen it since. And I think that was like the second time after his debut. And then, hold on. And then, why I can't eat no cheese? Sorry. And then, so then a band comes up there and I'm like, what is happening? I've been craving spinach salad for 2 days. Because I normally keep salad in my house. Now I haven't been to the store. Oh. I had a little bit of salad yesterday. It was like a summer salad with like grapes and stuff. But I haven't craving spinach. Yeah, so a band come out and I see UAPB and I'm like, I had to Google it because I'm like, what the hell? It's so many more, but I've come to know in the last 5 years, and I went to HBCU. Aggie Pride, North Carolina A&T's, the illustrious North Carolina A&T State University, okay? And I didn't know about HBCUs until I got into an HBCU, sadly. Like, I knew of certain schools, but I didn't know that they were considered HBCUs. I'm the first generation of my family to go from high school in my household straight to college. And I'm the only one of my mom's 4 kids to have a degree. Like, my brother went to the military. My sister did a couple classes, but then she ended up being successful in banking. So she's like a manager in like the fraud department and stuff like that. She makes good money. And then my other sister does like bartending and all that other stuff. So everybody is, has their thing going or whatever. But like, I didn't know about, so like, University of Arkansas, I didn't know they had HBCU, Pine Bluff, but I'm like, that makes more sense because Arkansas had a lot and still has a lot of sundown towns. And we needed a place for us to go to feel safe and to be, and for those that don't know, sundown towns are towns that after it gets dark, you have to get to the nearest county or county lines, because if not, you could be killed, you could be badly injured, you could be raped if you're a person of color. Sadly, it still goes on in a lot of the United States and people don't talk about it because in a lot of things it's normal. Like, it's a place in Georgia, a town in Georgia, like 3 or 4 years ago, that just had like this black boy became, I think, like homecoming king, and then he took a girl to the prom that wasn't black, and it was like a whole thing. And I was like, we're in 2020 or 2021. I was like, that's baffling. Like, to me, stuff like that is baffling. Even where I live at now, like, the lady was like, oh, you know how like Jim Crow laws and stuff like that? And she was like, even in the 80s, it was like that. And I was like, so when I got here, part of my high school year in the 2000s, y'all were like 20 years behind. So it's basically like the 80s for y'all. Where I grew up in like Northern Virginia, we didn't have that. I grew up around every culture, whatever. I'm like, so that's why 2024, even though this is the capital, it still seems like 2004 because y'all are so behind. Like, the laws, the transportation, all of that. Like, it's crazy. But anyways, like, they came out, the band. And I'm here for bands. I know about HBCU bands. I have my best friends that are not majorettes. They are Golden Delights, which dance in the band, and then they have like the majorettes. Golden Delights dancers and the majorettes are 2 different things. And then I have friends that are in the band or were in the band. And I don't know if it's the acoustics or if the cameras were close up on certain sections and not on others. But I was like, it sounded a little off. Okay. But I am proud at the fact that he allowed them to come. I'm like, that was representation for HBCUs. That's representation for the South. That's representation for band geeks. That's representation for Black people. That's just various types of representation. And I love that. I love that he brought them there. And then when he came out, his the production showed his thing, his graphic. And I'm still trying to figure out why he's the only one that still got the graphic. Okay. And then they had his thing playing, like wrestling has more than one family, and then it's like somebody had stopped and the band was still playing. And then they did it again. And like I guess someone in the band was still playing. It was like, and it let it play. And then he came out with gold and red. And I was like, this is the first time I've seen him with gear that does not have blue in it. And then I said, I think he's trying to match the college. So I'm like, if that's the case, I'm here for it. What had me crying is the people on the internet wrestling community don't have no sense, okay? Because people on there talking about someone in there talking about Cody's tattoo is extra big tonight. So that means he gonna win. So I was like, how the hell y'all know when it look big and when it don't? Like, what? So when he did that, he came out with his man. Roman said, hold my beer. And got an orchestra. It was like, you ain't about to show me up. And had the orchestra play his interest in. I was like, that to me is comical. Like how, even though they're partnering, they're still like rivals in a way. Because I'm like, he like, oh, hell no. Like, he about to have a whole band out here. Let me go get an orchestra. And, you know what I'm saying? So he ended up getting one and coming out. And I was like, ever since he been teamed up with Rock for WrestleMania, Roman been ripped as hell. And I know he got a PT because his personal trainer, like, you know, when you go on like your Explore page and stuff. Now my Explore page has like stuff for mental health because my son was diagnosed with mild autism. It has like nail art and hair stuff. It has travel. It has music because my family's very musical, stuff like that. We're in choirs, we play instruments. And then it has wrestling stuff. So, so like, it'll show like his training with him. Because I'm like, Roman been ripped since WrestleMania. Like, because when they showed him, I was like, he been ripped. Okay. And then them two came out and I was like, both of them look good. Okay. Both of them. And then, excuse me. So they come out, they do their thing. I think they were trying to argue over who was going to be first. And then I think Cody ended up going first. Was it against Jacob? And then they wanted Roman to come. And Cody was in the ring for a while. Oh, this is what I was going to say about, I can't remember if I just said it or not. Because it's like a lot of things in my brain. But people were also disappointed at the Rhea Liv match. Because they was like, the match didn't even get out of first gear. Like after that's what I was going to say. After she had the camera, she was talking like, I'm about to do something right quick. I'm like, and the ref was like, all right. And I was like, what the hell? So I was like, oh, she conspired with the ref. She beat daggone Dom like a Mexican pinata. Because I'm like, first of all, how you open the gate and then you fall and can't get back up, blood rushing to your head. I'm like, Lord. And then they was like, it didn't even get out of first gear. Like, the best thing that happened in the match was her beating Dom. And they like, that's another reason why. They was like, and I feel like it was rushed. I feel like it was rushed. And I say that because people was like, they probably moved it up to 6 because I gotta say this right, because I always mix it up with the college. UFC had a thing at 10 o'clock. So if that was the case, they should have had it at 5. It's a Saturday. You should have had the PLE at 5 and you should have had the pre-show at 4. People would have tuned in. And if not, they could rewatch it on Peacock. But they could have tuned in at 5 and then it'd have been over at 8:30. That way you could ask as many questions as you want and it would give people the ability to watch the UFC pre-show if they wanted to, if they have one, and then go on and watch the game. And then go on and watch the match. But I was like, it started feeling rushed, their match towards the end too. So that's why I was like, okay. So then when they came out, also thing with the HBCU, that's why I was like, with the representation of HBCUs, I'm like, it's so many of us that went to HBCUs that watch wrestling, that if they get contract Fanatics or WWE shop with HBCUs or certain HBCUs, we need to have university HBCU belts. And for those who don't know what HBCUs is, it's historically black colleges and universities. I have lived in the city. I have 2 in the city I live in, and I have one like 30 minutes from me, and then the one I went to is like an hour 15 minutes from me. But it's like I feel like with certain ones, it start with like popular ones. You know, like Howard, like Norfolk, like Hampton, like A&T, like Central, like FAMU, like Prairie View, like Bethune-Cookman. You know what I'm saying? Grambling State, Savannah State, Jackson State. You know, like have certain Morgan State. It's a lot of them. Bowie State, like it's a lot. Okay, and as much wrestling fans you got, them things will sell out. I'm trying to tell you, especially at the popular like HBCUs. Cause like our homecoming coming up in 2 weeks, and I saw somebody with a belt, with an A&C belt. I don't know where the hell they got that thing from, but I was like, that is so dope. And they came to homecoming with it like 2 years ago. And I'm sitting there thinking, if WWE had one of them, and he was walking around and he was showing people and stuff, I said, I would for sure wear one of those. I would have it one of the days on Saturday when I'm on the yard at somebody's tailgate at the fish fry, because the tickets are sold out to the game. I would have it around my arm, living my best life with a drink in my hand. Like, that'd be the only time I would bring it out, is if I'm going to a game or my homecoming, or mainly at my homecoming. So, like, Cody it took a while for them to do Cody, and then I think they had brought up Dusty and stuff like that, and him coming to the thing. And I was like, it's crazy because I think this is the first PLE that involves Jay, that involves the bloodline that Jay's not a part of. I was like, even the situation with WrestleMania, like he was still involved in that, because I'm like, he had a match against his brother because they kept interfering in with his matches, and then he came out the second day to slam his brother into the table. Like, I was like, so, you know, I was like, he was still involved. So they couldn't get Cody couldn't tag Roman, and then when he wanted to tag Roman, like Jacob had stopped it and pulled him off the ring. And at first I thought he did like what Dakota did to Bayley and just bounce back like this, and I was like, oh. Then when they was like, Jacob had did that, and how he's savage in the fact that he's very capable and aware of what's going on. Like, he's smart in that sense, and he goes like basically beast mode. So like, he's dangerous in the ring, plus of the knowledge that he has is very dangerous. So I was like, okay. because I'm like, I don't like that word savage. Like, I don't like it just based off of me watching, like, the Wild Samoans talk about how back in the days, Samoans were looked at and as savages and stuff like that. And like, in some of the stuff you'll see them doing like this. And I was like, I know they don't want to do that. Like, don't, it's 2024. Like, don't call them that. Not unless, like, you ask them, I feel like, which I wouldn't know, but you ask them, like, prior to, like, hey, if I call you savage in commissary, how would you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, try to be sensitive to, like, certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Solo finally got in the ring. Roman finally got in the ring. And then Roman ended up getting hit. So he said, Solo's beating him up, and the cameraman be right there. He said, Tribal Chief my ass. Then he got, like, he is literally the baby of the family. You could tell. Because he said, I think he even younger than Jacob. Because he was beating on Roman at one point. He said, you lied to me. He said, you told me that after you become Tribal Chief, that I was next in line. And stuff like that. And I said, it reminded me of one of my people I follow. And they follow me. And I was like, they said that even in all of this, when Roman coming back, he's still the heel and the villain. And I was like, and he was like, how you come back and break up what's going on? He said, when you basically ordained Solo to be next in line. And it was like, yes, they had a thing where you don't touch Cody. And he broke that rule. But like, other than that, you basically gave him the okay to become the next tribal chief. Like, and now, because you don't like how it's ran, even though you said he could be tribal chief, and he basically messed with your wise men, that you want to come back and start a ruckus. Okay? So it's basically Roman is villain in the situation, and because we love him, we're going to turn him into a hero. But technically, he is still the heel in this situation. Because I'm like, that is true. He is the heel in this situation. You might not like Solo Stackers, and everybody's not going to run stuff like you. You know what I'm saying? That's like you having a business or something like that, and then you having kids and stuff, or you doing something a certain way, and you teach people. People going to put their spin on it. Or they're going to be like, they're going to be thinking the whole time that you in charge, I don't like this, I don't like this. If I was in charge, I would do this, 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 this. Mentally, they taking notes. So if they ever, take over, then they going to implement that off the jump. Like, y'all, like, so I was like, I said there, I was like, that do make sense. Now, I'm like, him attacking Paul, yeah, that's wrong because he family, but that is low-key your wise man. Like, Solo ain't picked no wise man. I don't even think he got one. He don't have one. So he don't have no voice of reason and stuff like that. Like, he just out here wilding because he don't have no voice of reason. You know what I'm saying? Who would be a wise man for Solo? I'm trying to think. Who would be a good one? I don't know. I don't know who would be a good one. I don't know. But, so the match was going on. Jacob, and it was going, I don't even know if Jacob someone dropped somebody. But the part that caught me is Cody went up on the thing. This is payback from when Jacob did it to him and they said he broke or bruised his ribs. He looked at Roman like this, like, all right, I got it. You take it from here. Put Jacob on the table and jumped on the announcement table and it broke. And both of them like this. And I said, I know that hurt. Like, that was my first thing, like, ooh, I know that hurt. So then, after all of that, 2.99, Superman punch situation, it didn't go through. He jabbed a Samoan spike. Roman reversed it. He counted. He got pinned. Roman got pinned. Literally 2.99. And Solo was like, it was 2. They kept going. Then it was like, it's somebody over here with a mask on. And I was like, Lord. I was like, who is that? Then they show him. And I was like, that is Jimmy. And then I said, I bet you it's Jimmy. I bet you it's Jimmy. First of all, I know Blackface, you look smaller, but I'm like, Jimmy looked like he lost weight since he been out. And I was like, I know he tall because he said he like 6 foot when he was did that interview with Chris Lavely 5 years ago about his dream match. But I'm like, the camera angle, because it's a little bit further back and it's not on. I was like, he looked tall as hell. Because at first I was like, that ain't Jimmy. Then I saw the daggone minute. I said, that is Jimmy. And then he took it off and had the thing and chain. And I screamed. My son stopped playing his game. Can I say, what? What, Ma? What? Like now, he don't even watch wrestling with me like that no more. Like he'll watch Smackdown and Raw. But he done got me into it. And he'll watch a couple matches on YouTube now that his thing is gaming and sports, because we're in the sports mode of the year. So he'll game and then he'll go on YouTube. Like he won't watch it in real time. He'll go on YouTube, watch the highlights, and then go watch the matches. Like that's what he does. He doesn't watch it when I'm watching it in real time. So like he'll watch, like today he's watching the highlights from Bad Blood. He'll probably go watch, and he was watching some of the matches today. So I screamed. I was like loud. And he was like, what? And I said, I know the people outside heard me. And I was like, y'all know I love like tag teams is my thing. I love the Usos. But I was like, Jimmy is my favorite. I even got the No Yeet shirt. Okay? I wore it the other day. And then I was like, I missed him being on TV. Like to me, he is SmackDown's R-Truth. Because when like Jay and R-Truth was on the bump, they was asking who was funnier and funniest, and Jay said Truth, and even Truth was like, I think Jimmy got me. Like them two are hilarious, but Jimmy's like his persona, and I'm like, I can't even say that's his persona because I seen him on like Above Down Down and told you he's just naturally funny. So, but like I screamed, okay, and I loved his shirt. I started laughing because I was like, I thought so the ones, they was like, they not the ones. And I was like, they not the ones. So then after all of that, they won, Cody and Roman. So I don't know what the hell Roman said to Cody, because normally when after the match, when he be talking trash, they'll zoom in a little bit so we can hear it. I don't know what the hell he said. Then they got off, they left. So, no, before that, Jimmy and Roman hugged, and he was like, I got you. Like, I'm your cuz. I got you. Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? And, which is kind of crazy, though, because at first, Jimmy ain't even want to be part of the bloodline and stuff back when they had the Thunderdome era. Not Thunderdome. Was it Thunderdome era? No. Hold on. My brain. But when they was doing COVID, and then he ended up being it because his brother, to protect his brother, being big brother. Then they was in it for a while. Then he was like, Roman got corrupt, and he super kicked him, and then he ended up joining back after Money in the Bank, and then thought that they was gonna be cool. But then he got mad when Solo became the one, interfered Jay into becoming tribal chief. Which in hindsight was still Big Brother protecting him. Like he came to Raleigh, he was like, I'm protecting you so you don't end up being an asshole like him. And he was like, and you can't even see that. And he was like that to me, because that was from March. It's October. I got chills just saying that. That's good storytelling. Because I'm like, if you sit there and think about that, you like, from becoming Roman. And I'm like, and then he didn't even protect Solo from that. And Solo became worse than Roman. So I'm like, now we see what he was talking about. Because he was like, you can't even see that I'm protecting you. He was like, if you become tribal chief, you became like Solo. Okay? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, he literally protected Jay from that. And then went back. But the thing that threw me off is after he said all that, he went back to be part of the bloodline. And then after Roman left, still got messed up because Solo tried to cleanse his team from the old bloodline. So eventually it's gonna be a crossover, I feel like, with Jay and Jimmy. And they're gonna have a discussion. Somebody gonna come to somebody's thing. Because if Jay was like, shouts out like to my brother, because he low-key protected me, like, how was that gonna go? You know what I'm saying? And I know he was excited watching, because I'm like, this is your first time you get to see something with your family and you're actually watching and enjoying it. And then so they go out, all the bloodline attacks Cody, and Jimmy's back to how he was pre-bloodline. He was like, you gave him your word, Oos. Like, you gave him your word. Like, you said y'all was gonna have each other's back. Y'all gonna have each other's back. They went in there, fought him off for him. He dropped his title. He gave his title and looked up. Then the Rock's music come on. I screamed even louder. Y'all know I love the Rock's music. That guitar is everything. Like, my papa, rest his soul, played guitar. My uncle plays guitar. My cousin plays guitar. She plays for various people. She was just at that music festival in Brazil playing for Karen something. But like, guitar is like one of the main instruments that my family plays. So I know the guitar. So like the guitar, the remix of it from WrestleMania, and then the laser lights. Like, he honestly has the perfect entrance. Like, when they zoomed out and showed it in the blue, and then they zoomed in, I was like, with the music, I said, he has a perfect entrance. And I'm not just saying that because it's The Rock. Because if it was terrible, I'd be like, oh, that thing is terrible. But I'm like, he has the perfect, like, Gunther, I don't like his music, but his entrance is clean. Like, that white, you could see from anywhere. You could be all the way up in the nosebleed. Like, you could see that thing. Jay's, they just added the blue laser lights and stuff. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? The laser lights is what it is until the lights come on. And then Solo got the music, but he don't have the production part. But like, The Rock has all of it. All of it. Then he come out with that People's Championship. Which kills me, because I'm like, you would have sworn this was a universal title. And he come out with it, and I said, he got that daggone vest on. So I'm like, we about to get heel Rock. He come out, don't say a word, and then looks at them and says 1, and I think it says 3 and 2. And I said, what the hell? So, or 1, 2, 3, or whatever he said in whatever sequence. So somebody said, you know The Rock black, because this man go live. Went live as soon as he came out. And I was like, he didn't say a word, but he said everything. I was like, remember we were supposed to get Roman and Rock for WrestleMania 39, and then we wanted them for WrestleMania 40. I said, it's going to be Roman and Rock. I said, either at Survivor Series or it's going to be Roman and Rock at WrestleMania 41. And I said that because I said, first of all, he acknowledged the tribal chief. He didn't even want to at first until they switched it up. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, he acknowledged it. Y'all main goal was defeating Cody, which y'all won the first night, lost the second night. But now, the person you acknowledge as a tribal chief done teamed up with your common enemy. So now I be like, homeboy got a problem with that. So, because of that, he on Team Solo. Roman better watch his back, okay? Because now that you aligned yourself up with Cody, that's going to be interesting. And because of that, Cody is still in the bloodline story, even though he don't want to be. Who knows what that's going to do with him and KO, okay? Because KR wasn't already feeling him with the Roman situation, because he been fighting the bloodline for 4.5 years. Even before Cody came back from his injury, when he still had beef with Seth. Okay, Jimmy back, That's old bloodline. And Cody don't like old bloodline, but he respect him over Timu bloodline. Okay? And then, like, it's just like layers. Because I'm like, then Roman talking about I'm coming back for what's mine. So, like, now you got to team up with this man. But at the same time, you can't really trust this man. So, it's like, what we about to do here? Okay? And then eventually, I know it's going to be Cody and Randy. So, like, all this stuff could play out and give us a good year's worth of story. All of that could play out and give us a good year's worth of story. Okay? Because now that Solo lost, how does your bloodline look at you? You lost. So are they still going to acknowledge you as a tribal chief? And it was all for the Ulafala. So, and they ain't even crown Roman with it after that, which they should have. So what's about to happen on Friday? Okay? Like, that's the main thing. I want to know the story with Drew and CM Punk. And I want to know the story with Tiffany and Nia. And then the layers with Bayley and Bianca. And then Bayley and Naomi. Because I feel that's going to be a turn coming. And then Nia and Jade. Okay? And then all of them layers with the bloodline. Like, I need to know what's going on with that. Oh! Then they show Goldberg. Then they show, speaking of, they showed talking about Crown Jewels. So people say that. And I think some of the audience was booing. So I was like, boo. And I was like, don't nobody really like when y'all go to Crown Jewel. I know they got the contract and they got to, like, have it suffice and obligate. I was like, first of all, the way they treat women over there, still in 2024, we are not down for that. Not as a country. Not as much as we fight for women's rights. No. Second of all, like, so, when he showed, he was like, each person is going to fight against each other. And I was like, that's kind of like the idea I had when I was like, if he win, I was like, and they go for the titles. But my thing was, like, at the time, it was be Steph and Roman, and then whoever wins gets a title, and then the next person they challenge, they eventually lose one of the titles too. But it was like, they're not going to fight. They're going to fight for a crown jewel belt. And they showed that belt, and it was like 50 crystals or 50 diamonds. And I was like, that thing gaudy as hell. I was like, I know it's expensive. And I thought it was me that thought that. No. Everybody thinks that. And I was like, that thing is, and green is my color. That emerald green is my color. That light, no. Not the emerald. What's the color that for the August birthstone? That light green, that's my color, okay? But that's a gaudy belt. And I was like, ooh. And I was like, and it remind you of them old school belts that were huge. But I was like, it's no way in hell. Like, and if you win it, do you get to keep it? Or is it just like a placeholder thing where you don't get to keep it? Because that's a lot of diamonds, okay? So Gunther comes out and talks about how he's going to win, get it, and what's the name talks about it being like the attendance and stuff like that. And he talks about Elf about to wrap that game up. It's way past your bedtime. I just looked at it. So then he talks about how he's basically gonna win just like he beat Randy and King of the Ring. So you might as well crown him now or whatever. And then he showed Goldberg and he was like, hi Goldberg. And he said, remember I called you my childhood hero? He was like, that's not true. And he said, actually, he said, I'm the greatest in the world. First, I like the green on Gunther. And then he said, and I, the greatest in the world, was like, can't look up to someone that's a one-trick pony like you. I said, ooh. And I said, but he ain't lying, though. Like, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. No, but it is what it is. Like, some people are just one-trick ponies, and that's it. Like somebody said, that was basically Ultimate Warrior. Like, he was real buff, had the look and stuff like that. But they was like, he was basically like for Goldberg back in the day. Like, he only had 3 moves. He was one trick pony. I never watched him, so I don't know. But I was like, yeah. So Goldberg comes up. The security comes out immediately. Then Sammy comes and attacks him. And I can't remember if that was before. No, it was before, I think, Liv and Rhea. And he gets attacked on the thing, and then they go off into that. And I was like, they had a filler segment. I was like, that was good. I was like, so they supposed to fight on Monday for the title. And I was like, low key though, with that build up right there, they could have put them in for the PLE. Like, if you move the girls, Rhea and Liv, and you needed to replace it and have them do it on Monday and bring Raquel on Monday to get the bigger pop, you could have brought in Sammy and Gunther tonight. Because Gunther's, I will say this, I've never looked forward to any of Gunther's matches. Okay? Except for the one at WrestleMania 39 with him, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre. And I've never looked forward to any of his matches. But I will say, all his matches beyond deliver. I will say that. And I'm not saying because I don't like him. Like, I like his persona and stuff like that. But he's very much, to me, the Tim Duncan of WWE. That's no shade, because Tim got three rings, and he's the only player in history to have a ring in 3 different decades. I'm saying that because they was like, Tim Duncan is such a great basketball player, but he's a fundamentalist. Like, he's not going to do all the pizzazz and stuff that you see other wrestlers do. Very much like Natalya. She ain't jumping off no ropes. She not doing all this stuff like that, and she could still get the job done, and it's still going to be a good match, but she ain't doing all that extra stuff. Like, that's what Gunther is. He's very much a fundamentalist, and you're going to get some chops in here, okay? But, like, his matches always exceed my expectation. And, like, it's never not like, oh, Gunther's match, my expectation out here. No, everybody starts right here for me. And if I feel like it's something I'm anticipating, it goes up here. And then if I'm not really anticipating, it stays right here. So that means if it exceeds this right here, I'm good. If it goes lower than that, and if the ones that I'm anticipating like that are lackluster like this, then I'll be like, but most of the time the ones that I'm anticipating are never lackluster. So thankfully. But yeah, so then they had the press conference, which I always watch. And Jackie Redmond did that, and they had Damien Priest out there first. And I like when he wears his glasses. I think he looks like very cute, very studious. And they was talking about, would they form another Judgment Day? I remember what I've been in one of the other question. And he was like, no, we basically formed Judgment Day to basically have like the outcast, the people that we know that could be stars and stuff like that, break out and become stars and main event PLEs and stuff like that. And he was like, basically, I always got someone. And he was like, and Rhea, but she's in the women's division, I'm in the men's division. He was like, we basically did that. So basically we're going to part ways. We're going to do our thing. But if she needs like to have my back, and I need to have hers, like, we got each other's back. And before that, Liv comes out and was like, basically, she done took everything from Rhea and her friend, her taxi partner, who's ruthless, Raquel, came out to help her. Like, there's no beef with her and Raquel. And I'm like, technically, you ain't taking everything, like I said, because I'm like, Rhea still has Damien. So you took almost everything. But she comes out and she was like, let me come back out because y'all not high enough for me. And she laughs and stuff like that and goes out. So then after that, they show, I'm trying to think who else was in it. Punk and them couldn't come. They had to get stitched up and cared for. Nia and them didn't come. Triple H that came out, and he was like, Cody can't come because of stuff like that. And I said, Cody can't come because, you know, Cody gonna take 20 questions, and y'all need to be off the air by 10 o'clock. And I was like, it's a scheduling thing with UFC. And I was like, that's why. But then he had mentioned everything, and he talked about the representation. And that's when people are talking about some, because somebody was like, he said he bases it off of the storyline that's going on now, which I get, you know what I'm saying? And then people were like, well, why is Solo on the PLE? Have you been watching Smackdown? That's why I was like, what you mean? Like, somebody literally on Twitter took that clip of what he said. Probably didn't even watch the press conference. Took that clip on there and was like, if you basing it off of talent and stuff like that, why is he on the PLE? I said, it's also WWE. Right now, I think it's 60% storyline. Solo is a big part of a storyline. Why wouldn't he be on the PLE? Like, what do you mean? So I'm like, now I see why people and certain superstars don't be responding to y'all, or certain people that like blog and stuff about like wrestling in general. Stop doing it. I was like, cause y'all, some of y'all are stupid. Like that's common sense. Like what? So then he was talking about how it's the largest gate in the United States, which I'm factoring in. It gotta be if you include merch. Cause there's no way in hell you gonna tell me it's been the largest gate in the United States this year, and you have Philly at WrestleMania in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way. Okay? I don't believe that. Now, if you was to include like merchandise with that, then I'd be like, okay, 100%, 1000%, because that store looked like it was probably sold out. Okay, but if we just include ticket sales, and in total, the 2 days in Philly was about 180,000 people, and we only had 17,000 people here. No. And I was like, but he said that every show, so that's something he probably has to say for business to keep people like intrigued and keep their stockholders like not on their seats. But I'm like, they shouldn't be. The daggone, I'm a stockholder. And when they opened up the thing, it multiplied 10 times. Like when I first I randomly just got stock in WWE. Wasn't even watching yet. The stock was $13. Like now it's like what, 120 something dollars. Like we ain't worried, okay? Just saying, we're not worried. Like if it's a significant drop, then we will have a problem, but not worried at all. So then he had talked about representation. He had talked about Goldberg maybe getting in the ring. Somebody had asked, and he said normally he was Bill. He said then after that thing with Gunther, he had the spark in his eyes and stuff like that. But I'm like, time passes, and then I was like, and also you get older. I'm like, girl, Goldberg is still probably in shape, but he's not as big as he used to be. Like, lost like some of that muscle mass. He done thinned out. Like even John Cena last year compared to this year is smaller than he used to be. Like, and he was like, now he doesn't have to do as much lifting because he's not in the ring no more. He like does like multiple things like yoga and all this other stuff. So I'm like, that would be interesting. Gunther beat the hell out of him, but that'll still be interesting. And then it like abruptly went off air. So overall, I feel like it was a pretty decent PLE. But I also feel like it was rushed because I knew that they had to be off the air at a certain time. So certain stuff couldn't play out as well as they wanted it to. So, but I'm not mad at it. I more so want to know. I'm curious to know what's going to happen with Damien and Finn after that, because they had asked him about him getting back his title and like Sammy being there with the title. Wanting the title, and then him and Gunther, and then I'm like, Seth back too, and I'm like, in one of Seth's dream matches in a previous PLE interview with Cole, he said he's never wrestled Gunther before, and that's one of his current dream matches, and I was like, that's gonna be in a PLE, I know for a fact soon. I was like, he back too, so I'm like, if Gunther wants the title shot, I'm like, he got at least 2 other people in front of him in line. One is fighting on Monday. And I was like, now he might could go for the IC title, even though him and Jay got an understanding. But I was like, world title, I don't know. And then I don't even know who's going to be up for the tag titles. And then I feel like if Rhea doesn't get somebody in her corner, it's either going to be a handicap match with her against Liv and Raquel, or it's going to be her and Raquel for a while. A little bit is going to restart that situation. But I'm more so anticipating Friday now. And Tuesday, because if that Lash Legend and Jakar versus the Stormings duo happens the week after this week, I'm be tuned in. Okay? I'm be tuned in regardless, because they're going to be in St. Louis. Lord God, I don't know what the heck Sexy Red going to have on. And then Javon versus Randy is going to be interesting. Like, I can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see Fatal Influence versus Kalani and the Stormiest duo. Like, and I think that's the only match I want to see. I think that's it for now. And I want to know who Trick's first opponent is going to be now, since he's the NXT champion again. Oh, and then it's going to be Tony D'Angelo and Uma for me. Yeah, like I'm waiting for Tuesday too. Like not so much Monday, but Tuesday, Friday, I'm here for it. But sorry it took me so long. I was tired, like exhausted, and I had to get. Like, I wanted to tell y'all all of this yesterday, but I'm like, my brain was like, "Girl, go to bed," and I went to bed right after that. I tried to stay up too and fight through it, and I was like, "Nope, I'm going upstairs and going to bed." So I hope you guys had a great Sunday and Saturday. Had a great weekend. I will try to make a review on Monday night. And I won't be as tired if it's 2 hours, thankfully. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. If you have to work on Monday, good luck, and I hope you have a good work day. Bye.